guys, I'm back to my Raw review. Now, I actually can't believe that it's like the last, or it's just been the last Raw of 2011. I honestly have no idea where this year has gone. It's gone like so fast, and yeah, like I said on a couple of videos ago, so it's almost been a year since I started like, you know, reviewing wrestling like every week, because I started doing that in February, like just after Elimination Chamber. So yeah, this year has gone like scary fast. But no, I really liked Raw this week. But yeah, no, that wasn't really a very good introduction. Hello people. I hope you're all okay. Although yeah, like I said on my last video, I hope you all had a really good Christmas. I hope you're not feeling too stuffed and fat like I am right now, because literally yesterday was terrible. At least on Christmas Day, you know, I ate like roast dinner and all that kind of stuff. Yesterday, apart from I had like a couple of like bread rolls like with salmon in them for lunch, and the rest of the day I just ate Quality Street and jelly beans. Now that is absolutely appalling. I know my diet is no wonder that I keep complaining about needing to lose weight. But I promise, like when I get to like January, I'm going to like start being healthy and dieting again properly, because jelly beans and Quality Street all day, that is horrendous. Horrendous. I'm surprised that I don't feel like an absolute whale right now. But anyway, so now talking about Raw, I thought I'd watch Raw this morning, because obviously, yeah, normally I work obviously on Tuesday, but because it's amazingly, it's a bank holiday in England, don't actually have to work. It was optional if I wanted to go in or not, and I was like, no. So I've got like 4 days off work for Christmas, which has been amazing. And yeah, so I thought I'd, you know, get on and do my Raw review early so that I can obviously do question and answer tomorrow. So yeah, after all that like rambling introduction, I'm actually going to talk about Raw now. On the whole, I enjoyed Raw. I thought it was good. Like, yeah, because obviously I normally, like we always complain, that they don't leave enough time in between pay-per-views, but if you count from like TLC until Royal Rumble, it's about 6 weeks that we've got of like build and stuff, which is obviously quite good. So it's giving them time to like build a lot of the storylines, and that is mainly what this Raw is doing. Obviously, you know, it's going into like the new year, but it's also like kind of continuing storylines that have been like building for a while, obviously with Cena and people like that. So it's pretty good. So at the start of the show, obviously, because it's in Chicago, so obviously Punk's hometown, CM Punk's music hits the start, crowd goes crazy, and it's actually like John Laurinaitis like wearing like Punk shirt, which I have to admit was funny. John Laurinaitis on the whole annoys me. Just generally, I just think he's not very good, you know, as a character, because mainly the thing that bothers me about him so bad is that he like fumbles his lines like a lot, and I know it's like a lot of pressure, you know, you're on TV, and if you haven't been there for a while, like, you know, because he's got quite a lot of talking to do, but he just fumbles his words so much, and it's like, you know, you're like a trained person, you're famous, you should be able to talk without going blah, 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 like all the time. It's alright for me to do it because, you know, I'm just a measly YouTube reviewer, but you're like on TV in front of like millions of people, you should get your lines right. Anyway, rant over. So like I say, Laurinaitis comes out, and the fact that he actually does the whole "it's clobbering time" thing was obviously quite funny. Wasn't expecting him to do that. So he comes to the ring and says that, you know, he's doing it as a sign of respect to CM Punk. You know, CM Punk comes out and is like, give me one reason why I shouldn't kick you in the head right now. And Laurinaitis is like, oh, you know, calm down. I'm giving people what they want. They want to see you wrestle. So I'm going to make you wrestle in, like, you know, 3 matches tonight. So he puts Punk in a gauntlet match and said that if anyone, you know, whoever beats him would get like a title shot on next week on Raw. But then Punk's like, well, what if I win? What do I get? And he's like, oh, I want to have a match against you, Laurinaitis, if I win. So Laurinaitis agrees. And obviously, I was like, I don't think that's going to happen, you know, because I just cannot actually see Laurinaitis wrestling. But, you know, so then the first match is Cody Rhodes against Booker T, obviously a rematch from the TLC match, and Booker T actually won, which I thought was really surprising. Like, I didn't expect him to pick up a victory so easily, completely, well, not easily, I mean, it was a very long match, but, you know, like, cleanly, and just won, and it was like, what, really? But yeah, so he won with the scissors kick, so don't know what's going to happen with that feud now. Maybe they just wanted to get that kind of out of the way so that Cody Rhodes can kind of move on. And then we had Eve and Zack Ryder. Is this the first time that Eve's been back since that top rope glam slam that bested to her at whatever pay-per-view it was? Was it Survivor Series? Or was that Hell? I can't remember what it was. Or was it? No, it must have, I think it was Survivor Series, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if she's been on since then, but obviously, yeah. So it's Eve and Zack Ryder, because apparently Zack Ryder on his, like, on WWE.com has been trying to get, like, Eve's attention or whatever and sending her presents. I don't know. To be honest, I've been really slack lately. I haven't watched any of Zack Ryder's, like, YouTube show for, like, absolutely ages. I really need to get back on track, but don't have time. But yes, they faced Tyson Kidd and Natalya in a mixed tag team match. Even Zack hit the broski boot at the same time, and then Zack wins with a Rough Rider on Tyson Kidd. The ref like fell out of the ring while he was trying to do the count, which was really funny, because obviously because Zack was pinning like Tyson right in the corner, the ref was trying to get around to see his like shoulders, and then as he was like hitting the 3, he like just like fell out of the ring, and Jerry Lawler was like, where'd the ref go? That happened when I went to actually see wrestling live at the O2 Arena. It was back when they used to do like heat before the show, and like it was Mickey James versus somebody anyway. The ref literally like kind of dived to do a count and just fell straight out of the ring. It was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. And anyway, that's another story. So John Cena comes out, obviously, like, yeah, gets booed quite badly, obviously. Remembering back at Money in the Bank in Chicago, that was when he got booed. It wasn't obviously as bad booing as then, because that was the whole arena was like completely, and CM Punk was over them. So he says that Chicago doesn't like him very much, and he knows that. But you know, a lot of important WWE stuff has been happening or has happened in Chicago before. So cause he was saying that New York's often known as the home of WWE, but he says Chicago's just as important to WWE. Try to see that on their good side. And he says that he's probably signing his death warrants, but Chicago will see Cena versus Kane. But then The Miz comes out instead, and he says that he wants to face Cena so that he can tie up all their loose ends from the year and to prove that he doesn't need The Rock's help to actually beat Cena, because at WrestleMania everyone was saying that it was only because of The Rock that Miz actually won. So then they start their match, but then, you know, it hasn't been going on for very long, but the crowd obviously are doing their usual let's go Cena, Cena suck chant, so, you know, Miz is getting frustrated. He says that the people are chanting for the wrong person, you know, they should be chanting him. And then he ends up getting counted out because, you know, he's on the outside, like, blabbering on for so long. But then R-Truth returns. I'd forgotten about him, actually. So, yeah, I was thinking, like, at the time I was thinking, maybe he will return before the New Year. But the Miz, R-Truth returns and just takes out Miz, just throws him all over the place into the steps and just starts, like, punching him. And then he says that he's going to take his time with Miz. He says, oh, it's like Christmas is all over in, like, one day, but he's going to take his time with Miz and beat him every single week on Raw. So good to see Miz back. I hope Miz back. Good to see R-Truth back. I don't know if they will actually turn him face because he still needs to stay in his like kind of psycho heel character. But we'll see what happens anyway. Big Show faced David Otunga in a match with his arm behind his back because basically backstage, you know, he was like, oh, I could beat you with my arm tied behind my back. So Laurinaitis was like, oh, let's do that then. So yeah, he faced it. It was pretty dull to be honest. Otunga was just running around him for like ages, and then Mark Henry came out. And obviously, yeah, Otunga like kind of left the ring. But then Big Show obviously couldn't like actually undo like the rope that was tying his arm up, so Mark Henry kind of like knocked him down. But then Daniel Bryan came out and distracted Henry, so that Big Show had time to kind of, you know, untie like the ropes, and then he just chokeslammed David Otunga. And that was that really. So can't really report much else than that. Alberto Del Rio came out. He was being pushed out in a wheelchair by Rodriguez. I was like, what on earth has he done? And he was like, oh, I have a groin injury, blah, blah. So he had to go at the people for, like, you know, cheering that fact and says that you people are horrible. And then he was like, oh, in 2012 he'll come back more vicious than ever before. And it's like, yeah, right. Sure you will. Okay, so then we had the gauntlet match. And what was really annoying about this was, like, I don't know what you people thought, but, like, when they, like, announced who the people who he's going to face, like, before the match actually happens, like, sure, it would have been a more surprise for, you know, his first opponent to come out, and then if he beat them, then the second one came out, but because we knew it was going to be, like, Swagger, Ziggler, and Mark Henry, it's a bit like, oh, well, that's not quite so interesting. I mean, it was probably, you could have guessed that it was going to be them, but, anyway, so, yeah, like I say, CM Punk faced Jack Swagger first. Swagger went for his, like, Swagger bomb, but Punk caught him, went for the GTS, that got countered, but then Punk hit the roundhouse kick, which, obviously eliminated Swagger. So then he faced Ziggler. Ziggler was, because when Ziggler was entering the ring, like, Swagger took out Punk's leg, so, Ziggler was working on that, doing, like, a lot of submission moves. Punk manages to fight back, and he goes for the GTS, but, Vicky kind of grabs Punk's leg, obviously, so, you know, he can't hit it, but then Laurinaitis comes out, everyone starts booing him, and then he's talking about, you know, like, Punk doesn't move on, Ziggler tries to pin him, but because Laurinaitis is talking to the ref can't, like, kind of do the count, and he sends, like, Vicky and Jack Swagger backstage, which obviously makes the crowd cheer, but then he starts talking to Punk and distracts him, which allows Ziggler to hit the zigzag, so Ziggler actually gets the win, and it was like, I was like, what? I can't believe that he actually, like, won, and obviously, so I was going to say fans and crowd at the same time, the crowd were, like, obviously booing, because obviously Punk got screwed, so which means that Ziggler has actually got a title shot next week, which should be a good match, because obviously, you know, Ziggler's awesome and Punk's awesome, so they should actually put on, like, a really good match. That's something to look forward to for the first Raw of 2012. Yeah, that's what happened then. And then the last kind of segment was obviously Kane coming out. I just find it so weird that, you know, he's just, like, talking again. Like, when he had, like, the mask kind of like that. I know he did talk when he had it on the first time round, but it just sounds like exactly the same. He just kind of, like, tilts his head a lot when he's talking and, like, draws out what he's saying. But, you know, so he comes out, he literally starts talking, but then Cena comes out. And then Cena's going to come down to the ring, but Kane makes, like, all this fire go, like, boom, on the stage so that Cena can't, like, get any closer, which I thought was quite cool. And he says that, you know, the reason he went after Cena was because Cena's been leading the people astray and saying that they should rise above hate. But apparently hate is actually, you know, the most natural human reaction, and that, you know, hate is what drives people to be people, basically, and they need to embrace it. And it's like, yeah, right. I find it hard to hate people. I don't like hating people. But yeah, anyway, that's, like, besides the point. So yeah, and he says that the last thing that Cena will remember of, like, 2011 is people, like, doing the thing which he, like, hates most, which is obviously them saying Cena sucks, and that's literally how Raw finished, you know, with Cena looking really, like, not like, he wasn't annoyed or angry, he was more like pained was the word I'm going to say. So obviously because like fans were like chatting like Cena sucked, like, you know, to end the show, and Kane was kind of like laughing. So, overall, I thought it was a good show. Obviously, they're still building on this kind of like potential heel turn by Cena. I don't know if it's going to happen, but he's become more bearable now. Like before, I was just fed up with Cena. I was well boring, but now I don't actually mind watching Cena. It's actually quite interesting what they're doing, and obviously Kane is not like just like completely boring now. Not that I was that amazed by his return, but it's more interesting than he was when he was just on SmackDown, like doing absolutely nothing. Good to see our truth back. Dario, just the same. Ziggler's getting a title shot, and obviously Zack Ryder's being built up. And yeah, pretty much everything's good at the moment on Raw, so I can't really complain. So overall, good way to end the year. Obviously, we'll just see what happens on SmackDown now, but I think I will do the video that I said about doing like a year in review kind of thing, if I actually get around to it and have enough time, which I hopefully will. I can't believe this is, I think this video now is my 98th video, which means that my SmackDown review at the weekend will be my 100th video, which is quite impressive. I didn't think I'd done that many, and I was like, wow, it's actually going to be my 100th video. Anyway, I need to end this video because we're going next door to my grandparents, because my like aunts and uncles from my dad's side of the family are coming over this afternoon. Well, they're already here, but we're going up there for tea. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because I've been talking too fast and now I'm like running out of breath. Anyway, so thanks for watching this video. Leave comments, leave your thoughts below, and don't forget, leave questions for question and answer video tomorrow. Your last chance to leave me any questions, because I will be doing that tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!